Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Clumsy Trucking. Where's my hair? I only just noticed, and now with the bright sunlight from outside, it's even more apparent. How's everybody doing? New background. That's actually an old one. That's just my desktop wallpaper. Should be that one. Just saw that note from Arias. Welcome back. No comment on that one. We all know how that turns up when you try to go against the flow. Thank you for joining, everybody. Good morning, good evening. Friday for me, one day before the weekend. Can't wait. Hope you guys are feeling okay. Who do we have? We have Scotsman, ever first. I don't know how he does it. Legendary skills. Really first this time. Timed it pretty well. Yarbla. K100 fan. Glad you made it. Hey Knots, welcome back. And Patrick, fancy seeing you here. Thank you for joining, guys. And L, still waiting on the mod after your namesake. How are you doing? Yeah, nearly fell out of your chair. I remember that I think there was a scene in Inception. That's one of my favorite movies about that, right? That feeling when you almost fall out of your chair. I think there was a reference to that. Buster, welcome back. Yeah, thanks for staying up late. Let's see, maybe I can put you to sleep. All we need is just that lullaby song. Jack's favorite. Yar Jack, I see you got out of the snow now. You have to land on your head 8 times. Goodness. Space Hunter. Welcome. Yar Alex. I take it you guys had fun in that new map. Or I'm not sure if fun is how you would describe it. The music has no suspense. Hey Geek Squad. Hey Hud. Glad you guys can join. And Arias. That awesome comment. Hey Frisky Panda. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. Nice hat. Is it? What nice hair. Hey Led. It's been a while. How have you been? Have you and Blah been playing any MP games recently? Let's go and load up the game. We are going for ETS2 today. No map mods yet, unfortunately. Actually, I haven't read about map updates yet. I haven't researched about it. I think someone in the Discord was telling me about the new update for the Romania map by Alexandru, if I remember his name, for 138. I have not tried it out yet though, and I'm not sure if it's part of the payment I already did, or if it's a separate payment, because it is Payware. It's a Payware map. So of course, you cannot see my game yet. There's a rumor that RTX 3080 will be 20% faster than the 2080 Ti. Sounds good to me. So that's the one. That's the truck we're driving with. Renault Premium edit by Alex. Not our Alex, it's Alexandru Andrey. And of course the Renault sounds from Kriechbaum, which are actually SCS sound samples. It's just amazing. I did have to edit the files inside here though, the ones by Alex here, because the engines are a bit different. There are more engine options than the one from Kriechbaum, than the one from SCS. So I have to modify the files a bit just to refer to the correct sound file. Anyway, I can go into more details later. Aside from that, we have Project Next Gen, increased delivery time so we don't have to rush, and everything else should be in the mods list. That is mostly updated. Right, so let's load that up. Alex no do Renaults. How about Vecos? You play promos today? Thank goodness you put that joking in there. Yeah, I guess promos 250 is the next one, huh? Looks like there are a lot of nice changes coming up. Lots of changes in Poland, in Germany for promos 2.50. That's the truck right there. Going for tandem today. I like the simple look of it, like the very work truck vibe. Nothing flashy except for the wheels. Increased delivery time, yes, that's perfect for guys like me who like the sightseeing and don't like being rushed. So I think it simply doubles all the existing jobs, all the durations. So I made a silent trucking with this video. We ended up here. I have not driven through the, what do you call this island? Corsica? I have not driven through here much. It is actually very nice, this windy bit here. We can drive through it. Well, we'll probably take a different road. But I want to make our way towards maybe south here. What do you call this island then? Make our way back to Italy. We'll see if we can find the job, that is. No natural looks. Yeah. Maybe I should just rage quit right now. Has anyone heard anything from Kirill? Hey, snail. I read that wrong, I think. It's Snay. I'll tap to get back into the game or start your game because it stopped. I don't, but that might be because of full screen issues. Maybe you can try to go in windowed mode, see if it helps. See if we can find something farther. That's looking pretty... that's perfect. Make our way towards Palermo and then go up from there. And it's urgent, but thanks to our mod, it wouldn't be that tight. That should work, I think. It's 12:19 in the afternoon, so that should be okay. Let's take that one. Yes, there's one for ATS, and they're both in the mods list. I also am using both of them. Beautiful sky from Project Next Gen. Kriechbaum sounds. Well, to be accurate, SCS sounds remixed by Kriechbaum and added fan sound. If you are wearing headphones, you will hear the fan sound very subtly as we rev up and as we speed along, as the engine works harder. It's very subtle, but it's very nice. That's loud. Doesn't sound like SCS at all, right? In a good way. Let's go and pick up the job. Should be pretty close here. This is a very nice scenic route if you haven't driven here before. It is a bit laggy on my end though. .3080 might be 120% faster from the 1070. Wow. And that's definitely something I will keep an eye on. I hate getting these GPU bottlenecks. I'm getting them left and right. Because I keep maxing out my graphics all the time. That will be a very welcome change. Let's let this guy pass first. Yeah, definitely. I only discovered it the other week, I think, while I was browsing through the Steam Workshop. It's a very simple concept. I never thought about doing it before, or looking for that mod before, the increased delivery time HUD. So yeah. It's going to be a must-have in all my profiles now. I do like the interior sounds. The SCS sounds, they get a bad rep, But I think in terms of the interior, it's very good. It's just the actual engine sounds which pretty much suck most of the time, to be perfectly blunt. But the interiors, I think they re-recorded that for most of the trucks, and they sound very good now, the switches and everything, especially the blinkers. So that part, the Kriechbaum didn't have to do much, I think, but the mixing of the engine, the revs, and how it purrs, basically, I think that's where all the changes are. And I shared it in Discord how these sounds are like the video from Kriechbaum compared with the default sounds. So TGM has a video where he recorded all the trucks and their default sounds from 1.37 when Fmod came in. And so there is a quick link to how the Renault Premium or Renault Magnum sounds by default. And you can compare it, Kriechbaum versus SCS, very easily from that. Go and check it out in the Discord if you have not seen that comparison yet, or those two videos yet. Okay, let's take that one. Every night taking the scenery. Yeah, if you rest too much a lot, it might still not be enough time, but you should definitely have a lot more leeway. Yeah, it's not infinite time, but it's double, so it should give you a lot of allowance. Yeah, I wish this was the default sound. It's kind of hard to believe, right? It's really night and day if you compare the two. I mean, I'm not sure if it sounds like the real thing, but for me it sounds like an engine, and I'm happy enough with that. Because I will not be able to tell the difference anyway. I'm not very good at, I don't have that ear for like, oh, that's a yada yada, that's a Detroit diesel, that's a Cummins. I hardly can tell them apart. I just know if it sounds good or not. Like, I'm the same way with coffee, for example. I love coffee, have it every day, but don't ask me to get like the flavors, the notes. Like, oh, this tastes like a bit chocolatey and has a bit of berries. No, I cannot do it. I just know if it tastes good or if it tastes like bad instant coffee. That's the extent of my discerning ability, and I'm the same with engine. That doesn't seem right. I think I'll hit the other side with this kind of angle. That too. I think it will not accept it. Oh, actually it did. Nice. It's nice that they fixed the lights at least. No more pixelation. Corsica, part of France. Sorry for the delayed response, guys. I'll try to catch up with chat now. I've been too chatty, monologuing. How you don't have? Actually do. I actually do. Let me show you. Mrs. Clumsy bought this when the quarantine started. The circuit breaker. Bought it from Lazada. This one. So it's battery operated, but you can power it via micro USB. And I just have one here pointed straight at me at lowest power, so it's not that noisy. And I have my microphone at the lowest gain, so we can minimize the effect or the buzzing. You can hardly hear it, I think. And even if you could, it's being drowned by the engine sounds anyway, so we're not that picky about it. There you go, Discord. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. Jack actually got first, wow. Indicator sounds are very good. Definitely. And those, we have to give props to SCS. I think those are just default. No need to change anything there. So I think they just have to have a better ear when it comes to how an engine should sound like. Because the other parts of the truck, I think they're getting already. Unfortunately, that's the most important thing. In the rage corner, on the phone, he's busy reporting bugs. That dedicated. He's with the SnowRunner customer service complaining about the bugs, the rage quit moments. How strong do I like my coffee? Very strong. Coffee, I like black most of the time. Well, especially in the morning, black. Because we usually go for intermittent fasting. So we don't have breakfast basically. And when you're in intermittent fasting, you don't eat anything. But you can drink water, you can take coffee as long as it doesn't have anything else added. Like black coffee is fine. And it's perfect because that's the way I like it. The more bitter it is, the better. Well, not really bitter, but the stronger it is. Because instant coffee is bitter, but it's not good. Trying to hold the sneeze in. Okay, good. Are you that clumsy with ETS mods from YouTube? Probably. We would have the same logo. But do we sound alike? Hopefully that's me. You recognize the voice, there you go. How do I call you? Stin? Can I call you Stin? Yeah. Thanks for joining. Okay, we can go through here. I haven't been here before. This part here. That's also one option. We could go the coastal route. But I think this one is more exciting. Mountain pass kind of thing. Welcome to the stream. Glad you made it to the live stream for a change. Not a lot of people can make it because it's a bit awkward, my schedule. Especially for European folks. Yeah. I'm not sure why it doesn't work out. Maybe they tried hiring Kriechbaum already. Maybe he just doesn't like it. Maybe he doesn't want to be tied down or something. I don't know. We have no visibility on the insider stuff that's happening. My goodness, look at this view, right? Project Next Gen textures and weather coupled with the beautiful sights here in Corsica. And sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'll probably just jumble around the syllables. At least you'll recognize it to a certain point. Exactly, yeah. It's like a matter of pride, trying to avoid turning on the air conditioning as much as possible. I have turned it on occasions, but very rarely, and mostly during the summer months. Well, every month is summer, but get the point. Like March, April period. Yeah, exactly. When it's like a stagnant instant coffee, you can definitely tell it apart from that like freshly roasted one. Freshly roasted or freshly brewed coffee. What is fasting? Oh my goodness, I have a story in a bit after I catch up with chat. It's more of a private story, but I guess I told you guys something along these lines before anyway, so might as well share it. And if I share it, then I'm more committed. But that's the teaser for now. Let me catch up. The map is displaced. Oh, don't get me started on that. Arias is here. He might pass on the message to Megan. Let's not get started on that topic. Oh my goodness. Here we go. No, but yeah, that's true though. I think it has been acknowledged. These islands of Corsica and Sardinia, yes, you guys probably told me about that in chat and I just haven't caught up. They are a bit displaced with the background map. How to unlock new hangars in ATS? You have a chainsaw. You have to join the World of Trucks events when they come, because when they're over, there is no way to get them unless you trade. I think they translate into Steam inventory items. So if you can find someone on Steam and trade that item in, then you can get the corresponding hanging accessory. But I'm not sure which one corresponds to which, so you'll have to Google that around. The King of Sounds needs no SCS. Yeah, I can imagine like maybe SCS offered already to some people and they can decline because maybe, I don't know, if they join SCS they will be tied to the company, so they will have to follow the rules, the direction, as compared to when they can do stuff on their own and focus on things they really want to do. If they have no need of the monetary part, then I can understand why they would decline. 20k miles for a Classic XL, oh my goodness, yeah, I love that truck. Only thing is I can't drive it and then have 4x anti-aliasing from NPI, so I tend to not drive it as much because I really want my best anti-aliasing settings. You have no idea how to pronounce a lot of the cities as well. Okay, that's good to hear, so I'm not alone. And that coming from you, that means a lot because you know a lot of these things. So I don't feel bad anymore. Not into fasting, just slowing. Kriechbaum is a strong, independent woman. Any no man. Any no SCS. AKW driver, I'm assuming that's for Kenworth. Where did you find the Gearshift overlay? It's a private thing. Unfortunately, I have not shared it yet. I made it on my own, but it's something that was only visible in the stream. I don't see it on my own screen. It's for you guys, mainly for the viewers. It's basically a browser, so I'm leveraging the ETS2 telemetry server. You know how they have those dashboards and they synchronize the dashboard with their tablets? I do the same thing but with a browser, and this is just basically like a skin that I made. So I made the skin, but the server is you can get the server from the forums. If that makes any sense. Sorry, I'll try to expound later. I'll just catch up with chat in a bit. There are 2 lines, one for each name of the cities. Oh yeah, I think you guys told me about that before, and of course I forgot. French and Corsican. Let's try and pinpoint which is which. Background, no you didn't. Don't spill on me. Renault Magnum, best trucks of the 2000s. Renault Magnum is not my favorite truck, I have to be honest. I don't really like the box type look of it. And that's a severe understatement. I think it's the truck I like the least in terms of appearance. The Renault Magnum. So I would happily drive a Renault, but only a Range T and a Premium. Or if there's an amazing mod out there. I think I tried the Magnum once because there's a very nice mod. That might be the same one from Nox, which has a lot of customizations. But from the look of it, the base look, I don't really like it. Right, yes, the telemetry server. Yeah, I just basically copied most of the skins. Like I got one of the simple looking skins, like the default ones. I tried to study how it works roughly. And then I made my own graphics. If you ask me to do it now again, I would not know how to because I forgot already. But yeah, yeah, that's actually a good point. I should probably release this at some point. Maybe in the beginning for my patrons and Twitch subs, so they get an advantage, like early access. This can be useful for those who are streaming as well. You were eating? What? Corsican is close to Italian. Names could sound like pasta dish or something. Yes, I get what you mean. Bologna. something along those lines. It has to be pitching up every single time. But yeah, this is a very nice view if you guys like mountain passes and you don't have map mods yet. Right now in ETS2, this is a very nice addition that they did. There we go. How about that one? It's a bit hard. Only one letter difference. Corte and Corti. That's a bit harder. Probably not how you pronounce it, but how about this one maybe is better. Ajaccio or Ayaccio. I guess the second one, the one below, is the Corsican one because it's more unfamiliar for me. Looking for one to show your viewers how much you change gears and skip shift. Ah, yes, exactly. That was my main purpose when was it? I think it was when the unsynchronized shifting was first implemented, or when I first discovered that it was there. I wanted to show the guys how that mixes, like how much clutch, gas, brakes, and which gear I'm in, how I do things, so they could guide me. So I thought of doing it. Yeah, very similar motivations, I think. Bonifacio and Bonifacio. Yeah, I think it's the second one. Right. Second one sounded like a sneeze. Don't let the locals hear that. Perfect timing, KW. Which was your truck of choice before, when you were still driving in real life? It's always nice to hear about inputs from actual drivers, because I have no real life experience, as you guys can imagine. French words rarely end with I. Ah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Pronounced like the English word court, and of course because it's French, there are like so many how do you say, syllables you don't pronounce. Also here in Corsica, I found out the hard way that cruise control and Corsica aren't the best of friends. If you go cruise control here, you are in for a disaster. And if you stick to the speed limits, yes, you will go flying off the cliff very, very quickly. So just don't pay attention to the speed limit at all. And just look at the road. I hear a train. There is a train right beside us. Nice. Hey Avondale, how are you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. A Kenworth T800, oh my goodness, you and Alex would be pretty close, I think. You would get along well. In ATS drive the W900 almost exclusively. ETS2, your truck of choice is the DAF XF105. Cool. Have you tried Vadek's DAF XF105? I think that's my favorite one when it comes to the 105. So many customizations. What is your opinion on European roads? Does it feel very different driving through them versus the US ones you're more accustomed to? I saw that video. There have been a couple of videos flying around with that, like not only French but also I think Italian, Spanish, but it's all started with that video, I think. Like the Google Translate. Have you guys seen that? Like the English version and the French version and all those, and they all sound the same. So when he groups them all together, it's like a barely cohesive sentence, all sounding the same. But yeah, it's a sentence, technically speaking, with different words in it. And it was hilarious how they made that video. Nicely done. Oh, I'm so happy that Xiaomi has updated his real company's mod to 138. No more echo for us. Absolutely hate that gas station. Doing good, Avondale. Happy to be streaming again, hang out with you guys. As a learner of French, I always think of the Spider-Man meme of all of them pointing at each other when learning the language. I don't think I've seen that meme yet before, but I think I can imagine how it looks. Yes, thanks a lot, HUD. I was surprised. Yeah, didn't have to. Realized you had this multi-currency card called U-Trip. Oh, maybe I should explore that. Is that a credit card? I don't think I've heard of that before. You use FedEx exclusively. Wrote your own mod to use the tall stacks from the Super Space Cab on the standard Space Cab. And use the Australian version Eaton Fuller 18 speed. Ah, nice. That will feel a lot more familiar, huh? Oh, I like this. This actually looks more Italian than French, doesn't it? The first time when I saw those houses in the hills, it immediately reminded me of the French sceneries that we passed through in this DLC. I should actually be turning left, my bad. I'll have to cut these guys off. Who will be the lucky winner? There you go. Thank you. Like, I guess the sounds aren't, I would say, aren't as good as the other works of Kriechbaum, like the ones from Iveco or the Volvo. I think those ones are still the best. Or the Actros. I think Iveco and the Actros ones are very close in terms of the quality for me. But yeah, given that he is basically using SCS sounds here, it's saying a huge ton about his remixing skills. Very much influenced by Italy. Makes sense. Plenty of time on narrow roads in the US. Ah, I see. Even the cab over nature isn't a bit weird. When I first started playing ETS2 and ATS at the same time, every time I switched to one or the other, I would always get confused for the first few minutes. Like, I would forget I had a nose and would slam into the corner as I was doing a turn in ATS. Favorite word is, oh my goodness, how do you say that? Also. Wasu. Birds in English. All 5 vowels are used, but there are only 2 syllables. Oh yeah, you're right. All 5 vowels are there. That's why it looks so weird. Hey Emil, welcome back. How are you? What time is it in Sweden, right? Is it 2:36 there as well? Oh, these are some very nice skies. Hey, great. I'm very bad at reading names. Reading Twitch names in particular. I never know where to stop the syllable. like take for example HUD. I think I'm the only one who would read that as HUD. So if you guys prefer me to call you some other name, call you differently, just let me know, okay? If echo sound is top notch, yeah. That made me drive an Iveco, and I normally stay away from everything Iveco. But yeah, that made me drive it for like a full week or two. I think I was driving it all the way until he released his next set of sounds. It's just so good, the bass, everything. Oh, except the blinker. The blinker was cutting off for some weird reason. Minimum is 20 SGD, which you pay with a normal credit debit card. Within the app, you can convert that 20 to 10 currencies at the same rates. Oh wow, it's very good. Nice. But how do you pay websites, for example, like that? Is it treated like a credit card? Hey, Rubber. Hey, thanks for subbing, by the way. GG, man. I just noticed that you subbed yesterday. I saw it in the notification. I was wondering when that badge came in. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And welcome to the Discord. Thanks for the support. Glad to have you in the VTC. No worries, HUD. I think that's going to be very useful for me as well, because I always get hit with the currency conversion. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Good to hear, Emil. Fine 5,000 for going 30 miles over the speed limit. Wow. It's good that the penalties are getting more significant now. Zach. Okay, I'll try to remember. Anyway, that's the name you use in Discord, right? Yeah, I think I remember that one at least. Learn to appreciate how big the mirrors are on a big truck. Car mirrors are so tiny. Yeah, that's the only one I'm used to, I think. Welcome to Italy. Oh yeah, that's true. Officially in Italy now. Oh, I didn't know there was a full-blown highway here. I forgot. Iveco S-Way truck. I have seen it, yes. I have not seen anyone planning on placing it inside ETS2 though. Looks like a Scania next gen, in my opinion. 30 over the limit here in the States would get you a ticket for reckless driving. Oh, I can finally go and get some cruise control in. It's treated like a credit card. They mail you a physical card with a number. Ah, nice. Can be used in real life as well. Cool. Yeah, because right now I'm just using my... what is my credit card? Citibank, I think. And I think the rates are not very good. The conversion rates. Can you send me that name again in the Discord server if you have access to it? You can just post in the general tab what the name of the card is. You've been a passenger in your dad's. Had mirrors on the bonnet. ETS2 or ATS, it depends on the mood. They are pretty close now. Before I would happily say ETS2, but now they're almost even in my books, especially with most of the mods coming in. The modding community in ATS maturing and really stepping it up in terms of skill and in terms of enthusiasm. So I would say it's 50-50. Yes. At least in Discord you have those capital H and D, so it's pretty clear. Here yeah, that's... But you're HUD now, in my design books at least. You wonder how the graphics mods will be handled. You're excited. Which one here? Handled where? There's a discussion up top. This is highway but not a motorway. Like in Italy, if you take note, there are green and blue signs. Green is motorway, autostrada, but blue is highway. Which one is bigger? Motorway is bigger, I guess. This one, isn't this the sign for motorway? I think that in other countries that's the sign that it's the big highway already. Oh, you messaged it already. Motorways have a hard shoulder, usually highways do not. Ah, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, exactly. I get your point. Hey Squatch, how are you? Thanks for joining. Me? Yes, I have played in Idaho. We featured it last week. Have a couple of videos there as well. In case you haven't seen it yet, more than welcome to watch and join there. Really enjoy it, especially the road to Salmon I think is my favorite. The cliffs in there. Motorways are bigger. Sign for highway, that's the one. In Italy, the sign looks the same except the color. Then I have to keep my ass peeled for how a motorway sign looks like. Cool. Thanks, Alex. Alright, Emil. Thanks for dropping by. And I have finally caught up with chat. Thank you guys for the interactions. Always the highlight of the stream, all the stuff we talk about. As fun, as great the mods and the content is in-game, it's the chat that makes this stream fun. Have to have one truck drive for the rest of time on ETS2 and ATS. 2 different trucks for the game, so... Well, my favorites are the Scania 4 series, Scania R4 series in ETS2, and the K100 for ATS. So I would choose those in a heartbeat. The road to Salmon is amazing with the craters of the Moon Park. Oh yeah, I think I passed through those. Let me have a look at the map here, 1 second, because I would want to sleep a bit. But if we're close to a ferry, yeah, I think I'll just pass through there and discover that at least. Let's bear with the nighttime for a bit, guys, because we're coming close to the ferry anyway, so we can sleep there on the way. Okay, when we get to Palermo, we'll see the motorway sign. I think in other countries, at least if I remember correctly, there's a sign for... What's the sign with a car? Is it a green sign or a blue sign with a car? I think that stands for a certain type of road, but I can't remember which one. Too small for big motorways. In Singapore, are those motorways that we have? The PIE, all the stuff, all the acronyms. SCS did really well on Idaho. Lived there for 15 years. You got everything pretty close to correct, especially in southern Idaho. That's great to hear. Have you been to Twin Falls and that, what do you call it, that bridge, that canyon? That looks so good. I think that is the most scenic place in the entire Idaho DLC. Drove the river north to Salmon. It's a night in the rain. It's very peaceful. River road north to Salmon. Ah, I see what you mean, yeah. It's not as scenic, but I can imagine how relaxing it could be at night. Like this one. I would prefer daytime though. But yeah, there is a certain appeal sometimes in driving at night. Just chillin'. Same with the car is a highway. In many other countries, yeah, that's the one I'm used to, I think. But in Italy, the highway sign is the motorway sign for other countries. You've been on I-84 and it seemed very true to life. That's good to hear. Although I did notice that the junctions seem to have very short on and off ramps. Is that really how it is in real life? I think that's the only gripe I have about those highways, about those interstates. I could imagine the ramp should be a lot longer than how it is currently in Idaho. Remake the older maps to make it more full. What should SCS2 to expand ETS2 more? Yeah. Definitely. I would even pay for that as a DLC, but I'm sure not everyone will. Remaking the old areas. But that would give them more motivation to prioritize those, right? Like the UK rebuild, for example. Make it a DLC to get the UK and include Ireland as well. So all from England all to the west. Make it into a DLC and remake all the roads. That would get them excited, maybe. Because as great as Pro Mods content is, it's still a mod. And the very heart of it, nothing beats having it in the vanilla content. You're not tied to any version. You're always supported. You don't have to wait when there's a new update coming in. Nothing beats official support. Stay in the middle here. Snow mod for Idaho. I'm sure Grimes will come up with that. When winter comes, he will have it included. I'm pretty confident he does that for most of the other DLCs. One of the loads he did for me was to Twin Falls. Yeah, twisty roads with nice views. The bridge at Twins is gorgeous. Golf course to the west of it down the canyon is really there in real life. I'm not sure if I noticed that. I should take a second look at golf course. The ramps are too short. Yeah. That's why when you drive in through Sierra Nevada, what Team Reforma made, it's such a refreshing feeling. Because the ramps are properly lengthy. For those who live in the US and are pretty familiar with how an interstate should look like and feel like, and for those of you who have driven in Sierra Nevada areas, this map mod by Team Reforma, I think you would agree that is more spot on when it comes to the lengths and the look of the interstate. What is that interstate right next to Sacramento? Going to Reno, was it? I think I love driving through that multiple times. Properly massive. Base ETS2 map is really ugly, definitely, yeah. With Project Next Gen, visually it's not as ugly, it actually looks pretty good. But still, you get those very sharp bends, unnatural bends, short and small junctions. So that textures don't fix that, but at least visually, it's not as old as it looks. Yeah, they've come a super long way. So I would hope they put a bit more focus into remaking old areas. Even if they decide on making that into a DLC, I wouldn't blame them. But I don't think they will, because I can imagine the blowback that would get from the community. Like, they redid some areas already for free. Why are they asking for payment for other remakes? Team Reforma got the ramps correct. Nice. They replaced many with longer ones. The ramps at Twin Falls exit are actually relatively new. Oh, wait a minute. So in I-84 at least, the ramps are really, some of the ramps are really short in real life. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it was only an SCS thing, that they didn't implement those correctly. Can't wait for Promos 250 to come out. Yeah, excited to drive through Germany and Poland. And congrats again to Scan720 for becoming a part of the ProMods team. I know from the ProMods forums discussions he was very excited about that before. That caused a bit of ruckus before. But now I'm happy to see that he got what he wanted. Well deserved. That's I-80. Ah, there you go. Sacramento to Reno. I-80 is my hatest part in Nevada. In the base SCS. Because I've driven through there. And it was just very bad with the bends and the lack of signs. And I'm not sure if that's really how it is in real life, but I hope not. It was very accident prone. At least for me it was. You live in Southern Virginia. Ride alongside of the truck. Ah, I see. Yeah. That can get pretty awkward for a truck driver. Donner Pass. I think you guys told me before, but I forgot by now, to be honest. Oh yeah. SCS has a great relationship with the community, comparing with other developers. They really listen. And although their methods are not very transparent, they're, I think, very transparent compared with other developers. Hey Neon, welcome to the stream. Palermo, I think, is where we're going, right? I hope I didn't get that wrong. PA is what? Pennsylvania? Sorry if I got that wrong. Just grasping at straws here. Look at fuel economy so far, 31.5. And we're not even in a full-blown highway yet. A clumsy tipper. Hey Sonoma, how are you, man? Oh, there we go, perfect. It's daytime again. What time is it anyway? 12:37. Good. Yo, 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 Sparksoul. Welcome back. How are you? Named for the Donner Party. Across the Sierra Nevada mountains. Kind of failed-ish. What was it? I remember you guys were telling me before, I think it was Alex, was it? Telling me something about the people who ate each other. I think that's the one that stuck with me because it was so horrendous. Ramps in Pittsburgh are major short. Ah, so that's a real thing in the US, okay. So I shouldn't blame SCS for that. That's really how it is in some of the even interstates. Can't really play ETS2 without pro mods, I can definitely understand. Yeah. I got it right. Pennsylvania? Or the eating each other? Sorry, I'm catching up with chat again, my goodness. Okay, it is that one. There was no food. Okay, so that is the one. Yeah, I remember Alex telling me about that one, and I was like half thinking if he was Mumbai bussing me or something. Welcome to Sicily, thank you. My boss is from here. Well, my boss's boss. But he lives in Rome now. nice frame rate here, considering we are in the middle of the city and in the junction. Very nice. Never get that good economy. I found that it largely depends on the truck you're driving. Even if you pick the same exact maybe transmission and maybe even similar engine in terms of power, I found that the fuel consumption can vary greatly based on the truck. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how the game implements it, if like it takes into account aerodynamics or something like that, but there seems to be some other factor. Some of the older freeways in the west are just as bad as with the short ramps, especially 110 California. Yeah, he's HUD now. Unintentionally gave him a new name. California sucks IRL. Cali is the reason you have DEF. DEF, is that the AdBlue in Europe? Donor name everyone uses when waiting on a table at busy restaurant. I didn't get that. Sorry, I think I'm missing a reference. Maybe it's cultural or something. The idea of going to the donor party doesn't sound appeasing. I can imagine why. See where that conversation came from while driving through a roundabout. What's KS? Yeah, that's the one I also think of. Like when I hear doner, I don't think of a bad thing because I think of kebabs. What does doner mean in the kebab sense anyway? Is that a Turkish word maybe? I guess this is a real company. Looks different. Looks interesting. You thought waiters had that name literally? Well, I guess to a point they do, but they do so much more than wait. That's true. It is AdBlue in the EU. See, sometimes I learn things from you guys. Well, I learn a lot of things from you guys. Sometimes I remember. Be more accurate. We are here. Bring your own barbecue sauce. Oh my god. One-way trip. Kansas is KS. Okay. Where is Kansas, geographically speaking? Which states are next to it? Maybe I can place it in my mind if I come across a similar, more familiar state. I've probably driven through it in coast to coast. KS is Kansas. Drunk drivers in Russia drive in a straight line because of all the potholes? Like they learned? Or is that like the safer way? Nice. Let's go and look for another one. How about that one, guys? Would be nice if we could have finished it. But I think that's the only way. You guys okay with that? Only Kansas, you know, is a rock band. I don't even know that. Yeah, 2-letter abbreviations. I guess that would make it simpler. Yeah, Arkansas. I don't know. Maybe someone would know. Air ride. Air ride in potholes. Yeah. Let's go and take that. Awesome. How's my fuel economy there, guys? Did that get logged in the Discord? I hope so. Geographic center of the US, actually northern Kansas. Yeah, that's a good question. If you have Kansas pronounced like that way, why don't you have it Arkansas? Fuel economy is 30. Wow. Where is Scotsman? Scotsman, stop training. Look at my fuel. Do it. Here we go. Would you rather drive in highways though, or through country roads? Do we have even that option? Because I can take some long... Yeah, I think we would have no chance of finishing that, but at the very least we can go do some detours, explore some country roads along the way, like so, and then so. Yeah, I think I'd like that. It would result to a worse fuel economy, I think, but at least I get to discover more roads, increase that explored percentage. Because for a guy with 1,000 hours, more than 1,000 hours in ETS2, that percentage is atrocious. Let's take that. I'm actually not sure how far we can go here. Let's try that one. Yeah, I guess we won't go past Germany, given the time we have. Don't tell them Arkansas. Do they get insulted that way? A green motorway sign, oh yes. Okay, we're not yet there, right? We're still in the city. Took you so many years to realize that Washington DC and Washington State are two different locations. Oh yes, I learned that because of the Washington DLC. You guys taught me that one. It looks very similar, at least the icon itself. Just the color is different. Man, that would probably suck for colorblind folks, wouldn't it? Although I'm not really sure how colorblind people see colors. I think it's not really like they see it in black and white, right? It's more like they have a hard time discerning different colors, but they still see something. Oh, I love how that engine just revs up like that. And you can hear the fan now. So along with the chugging of the engine, you can hear that fan working overtime, cooling the engine off. At least that's how I imagine it. Eastern Alberta is very flat. How are we doing on fuel? Oh, not bad at all. Sicily has. Okay, so in Sicily we should have some motorways. Best fuel economy is 32. You get there. Enjoy dinner. You like cake? Same here. Arrgh, I don't like speeding offenses. Thankfully that's only 200 euros. Well, that's not really only, is it? In real life that would be ouchies. 2 Portlands in the US, 1 in Maine and 1 in Oregon. My goodness. Make it even more confusing, huh? Just take a photo here. I remember I took a photo right at this exact spot before. But it just looks so good. '70s show reference. Ah, it's a very famous show. Unfortunate I didn't get to watch it. I think I remember how it looks, who the main actors were, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. I don't think it's even in Netflix, at least it doesn't appear in my recommended list. Welcome back, Scotsman. Look at my latest job. And I'll wait for you to pick your jaw up from the floor. Let's take that shot as well. The stretch of road you remember. Yeah, 40 speed limit. Got caught in that one. Depends on how they're colorblind. Red, green, blue, yellow. Like, it's even interesting how they get to diagnose that, right? How would a person with color blindness describe that they're colorblind? Like, I guess they would need some fancy equipment or fancy tools for determining that. Man, the frame rate here is so good. This one, motorway, indeed. So it's just the blue and green. I see it now, thank you. I much preferred it the way in Germany. For highway you have the car, and for the motorway you have the actual like highway look. Hey Slider! Welcome back, man. Where have you been trucking recently? Not checked the bill of lading. Drove all the way to Oregon before realizing I was supposed to. Oh my goodness, because it was Portland? Oh my goodness. This on-ramp I like. And this shoulder, this, how do you call that? Yeah, you get what I mean. Very easy to merge. 30 liters per 100 km. I know, right? Got lucky. No, this truck is very fuel efficient. And I haven't even been driving on fully highway downhill slopes. Cold cake is the stuff. Is that another reference? Can't see color. Yeah, I know some games are starting with that now, right? Like they have the colorblind mode, so they change the colors a bit. So colorblind people won't have trouble discerning the different colors. It's very inclusive. I like it. Pulled the load out of Nebraska, thinking you were supposed to be going home to Boise. Turned out you're supposed to go to Chicago. Why? What was the name of the place? Was it the same or just you looked at it differently? Can pass through here. I like how custom these toll gates look. So different from the usual ones. Mexico Extremo in Idaho. Oh, sounds good. Have you been enjoying the new viewpoints that Emblem has been adding? Long trip. Yeah. No chance of finishing it, but we'll go as far as we can. I'll probably finish it offline. shipping manifest. Ah, yes, that one I can understand better. Gilmore Girls. Before, yes. Now, maybe. In my top 3 still, definitely. Where did that come from? Oh, because of the 70s show, yes. Yes, I don't watch 70s show, but I watch Gilmore Girls. Sue me. What are my top 3? I think, yeah, Gilmore Girls is there. What is this? Modern Family is now there. It's a great series. And maybe either Billions or what is this Thomas Shelby series? Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders went down for me in the last season, but hopefully they make a comeback in the next one. I really didn't like the last season, but Billions has been pretty consistent. That one I'm absolutely loving. So yeah, very varied series. Not all mushy, but some of them definitely are. Woohoo! Take a photo here, definitely. Beautiful Italian highways. Well, motorway that is. Autostrada? How about highway? How do they call a highway? Is there an Italian term for it? Man, that lighting looks so real. If I look at this from afar, this image that I took, I would probably do a double take, thinking it was real life for a second or two. Like, especially if you do it like a realistic camera angle like this. Someone taking a photo from eye level like that, maybe. That would look so real, even for a second or two. miles in the wrong direction. Yikes. Well, you could think of it as you took the scenic route, right? The viewpoints are beautiful in Extremo. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, should we? When I heard this great news from Rohan that Zmod is planning to update his sounds and is also working on something new. Cummins N14 was it? But when those come out, we'll definitely go back into ATS and we'll explore more of Mexico Extremo, Chihuahua, and all the viewpoints that we can drive through. Hey T-Pic Gamer, welcome to the stream. Hope you find the mods list useful. And if you have questions, let me know and I'll try to read it through. Hope I don't miss it. Spanish signs in Puerto Rico. Where is Puerto Rico from a geography's perspective? I'm so bad at geography. I only learn because I drive through them in ATS or ETS2. Otherwise I would have no idea where they are in the map. The blue sign is for Type B highway. Type A is motorway. Type B highways are called extra. Okay. That one, Principali. Extarubani Principali. Extarubani Principali. Something along those lines, maybe. Extrar. Puerto Rico is south of Florida. Ah, okay, now I get it. Alright. Okay, I see. Spanish-speaking part of the US. It's an island in the Eastern Caribbean. Is Puerto Rico its own country? Because the place is familiar, but maybe I only heard of it from Miss Universe or something. Or some movie maybe. Vaguely familiar. More focused towards getting to the East Coast first. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how they are planning to flesh out the states, but it looks like they're not headed straight to the east. So it looks like they're planning it more in a box type state, like next to each other. And I like that, so you would have more options going across different states. Oh, that looks so good. Houses from afar there in the hills, but I'll save you guys from... I always forget. You have to be 40 at the ramps in Italy. You guys ever get loads to Mexico? Oh, you mean in real life? Yeah, I wonder how that would work out. I can imagine the paperwork would be quite hefty. That looks so good, guys. Sorry, I can't resist. We have to take a photo here. What city is this anyway? This looks so good. Puerto Rico is a territory of the US. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's interesting. It's neither a country nor a state. So did that change sometime in history? They were their own country before and now they are a territory of the US? I think the Philippines was at one point the brink of becoming like that. Maybe it still is, I don't know. That is definitely Scenic. Like so. Beautiful. US got Puerto Rico as a result of the war with Spain along with the Philippines. Ah, I see, I see. Thanks for the info, Joe. Welcome to the stream. The motorway sign being crossed out. I think I just missed it, huh? Yeah, but I can imagine. Oh, first stutter. We have been getting less stutters recently. It's great to see. They might have fixed some memory leaks along the way, because I don't get that to that point anymore where I use up all my VRAM. And man, that bridge, is that the bridge? Is that the railway on top or something? Sure looks like it. Like that, very unique. Messina. Territory of Spain until that war. Sounds very similar to the Philippines. Hawaii used to be its own country. Small British Union Jack flag at the corner. Oh, that's it. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder how they determine if it's going to be a state or a territory. I can guess a lot of political discussions going on that one. Have a good night, NL. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy the weekend. This is not the turn, it's the next one. Almost made the wrong turn there. Texas also used to be its own country. Ah, interesting. My goodness. So many different territorial changes, especially in the past, huh? Hey, Asim. I like that Clumsy squad. How are you? Thanks for joining. Never taken loads into Mexico. I have run them to expeditors in Laredo, Nogales, and El Paso. Take your load across the border. I see. It's like passing the baton. They're like more specialized, like more, yeah, truck drivers for crossing the border. Texas is so huge when you compare it to the European countries. Yeah, when you compare it to the European countries, when you compare Texas to Europe, what would be the size of it? Like, would it be like Germany and France and, you know, that kind of thing? I think I saw that in one... I think I saw an infographic about that, but of course I forgot. Texas is the size of mainland France. Ah, I see, okay. More convenient. Yeah, don't have to trouble yourself with the border controls and stuff if you don't cross over. USA is massive indeed. France is like the largest country in Western Europe. It's just as big as Texas. Singapore is the size of half of Rhode Island. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the scale, huh? Stazione Messina Maritime. I guess maritime. Close enough. Hey B Randon. Call you B if that's fine. Thanks for joining. How are you? Where from the US are you? We have a couple of folks here from the US as well. These sounds are amazing. These are by Kriechbaum, originally from SCS. Still couldn't believe he just remixed the sounds from SCS and it turned out this way. Night and day difference. Stazione. Ah, there you go. Thank you. Stazione. Yeah, I have to have that Italian vibe. Kentucky. Nice. Thank you. Kentucky is KY. I think I only remember that because there's a... It's like one of the jokes in the podcast I listen to. Like the guy still wondering if KY jelly is made from Kentucky. Badumts. That is a nice shot. It's been a while indeed. Because of Idaho and stuff. We are in mainland Italy now, I think, yes. Villa San Giovanni. My goodness, that's a long trip. One can dream. Have a good night, Zach. Thanks, glad you made it to the stream. Catch you on Discord. KY is nice, but nothing special. Just hills and farms. Where is Kentucky? Which states are next to it? I have to map this in my brain. Always forget. Is it near the east? More to the east of the US? And KFC. Oh, that one. Is that real? Of course, I would have no clue. Oh my goodness, these buildings look so good. I love the mix. That just looks so real. How they're placed like that. And coupled with the anti-aliasing settings from MPI, you would do a double take on how real it looks. Kentucky is just below Ohio. Ah, I see. Okay. Ah, right. I think I might have been in Kentucky already. Is that close to Cincinnati? I think I've been there and at least crossed over there at some point. Just south of Cincinnati, yes. Okay, yes. That makes sense. Ohio River is its northern border. I think we went to a mall. Is it a mall or what do you call those? We went to something famous in Kentucky, I think. Can't remember. If you guys know of like proper nouns, my words are leaving me. In Kentucky, that's very close to Ohio. Maybe you can blurt it out and I'll see if anything sticks. It sounds familiar. Bluegrass State. Oh, is that what it's called? Nice. Oh my goodness, that engine sounds so good with the fan. Ohio River is its northern border. There you go. For those who haven't joined yet, feel free to do so. Discord server link right there. Thanks Asif for putting it out. And thanks for following me. Appreciate it. Welcome. The Cincinnati airport is actually in Kentucky. Okay, that makes sense now. That's why I've been there. That makes sense. Yeah, maybe it's the airport that I was referring to. I still remember how that airport looks. Let's let this guy pass. Many of Cincinnati's suburbs are in Kentucky. Oh, that's how far south it is, huh? Interesting. Kentucky is known for horse racing. How do you pronounce that? Is that Louisville? Louisville? Do you pronounce the S? Slugger baseball bats. For truckers, the plant that made the Ford LTL 9000 trucks was in... Ah, nice. Corvette plant is also in Kentucky. Cool. And the chicken? But I'm serious, I'm really asking. Natural Lux 138 release. Oh, you're good as mine. I think everyone is waiting for that, including me. Louisville. Wow. Okay, that's very different from what I expected. Thank you. It's Louisville, but the other place is St. Louis with that bridge, right? That arch, that whatever it is. Oh, so many exceptions. Louisville. So KFC is indeed from there. At least something that's named correctly. Oh, speaking of bridges, and what's coming? Here we go. How do you pronounce that? Newfoundland. I'm guessing that's not how they do it. Oh my goodness. Newfoundland? Like New Finland? Oh, that looks so good. My goodness. Maybe we can make this a... Yeah, I think this can be a thumbnail shot. You have to show the truck here. Maybe a bit wider shot, like so. Show a bit of the sky. A bit of the bend. Wow. I will happily take that shot and try to make it a thumbnail. Although I think the truck is too far below to make it into one. Let me see. I can do it like this. Nah, it won't work. Still, it's a nice shot. He pronounced the S in St. Louis, but not in Illinois. Have you had any trouble pronouncing place names in Singapore? Let me see. Let's try some. What's the sample? I think many are pretty straightforward. Again, Bukit Patok or something, but I'm guessing it depends from which language it originally comes from. If it's Malay, then maybe I have a better chance of pronouncing it. But if it's from Chinese, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. Who's going to sleep? No sleeping. Just kidding. Have a good night, Buster. Catch you next time. Have a great weekend. After an update for the 1080 Ti video card, neither ETS or ATS will work anymore. What kind of update did you do? How did you manage that update? Sounds like a failed driver update to me. Might have to Google around how to uninstall and reinstall drivers. Also try other games, other 3D applications if they're working. Hola, Tesla, is that you? Did you change name? Alex's best friend? Tampines is the biggest exception as far as you know. Yeah, oftentimes people from the Philippines would call that tampines if they are not familiar, because we're more familiar with like English, American pronunciation of words, and they have to get used to that like different rule. Auto update from NVIDIA. Other games are working fine. Maybe try reinstalling ETS2 or ATS. Stick with one of them for now, so you reduce the variables. Maybe. It's tricky. You guys have any advice from Kriechbaum? Hugang is an exception. Government forced Mandarin spelling on the original teacher. I had that one. Yes. How do you pronounce that? Tiao Chao. Yeah, the Chinese, the Mandarin pronunciations, I'm so bad at. I never know if it's O, Ao, A, E. The combinations of the vowels like O, U, and all the different ones. E, W. So yes, in short. Okung. Is that how you pronounce that? It's very different from what I would have done so. Yes, Malay, very similar to Tagalog pronunciation, except maybe for the letter C. And some other exceptions, I guess. Why are you driving a Renault? Because of Kriechbaum. Blame Kriechbaum. Hashtag blame Kriechbaum. It does such amazing sounds. Still no difference. That's tricky. That is tricky. Does it crash? Does the game crash, or it doesn't start at all? It was an auto update. If you know know how to speak Spanish, speaking Portuguese is easy. I think there are some similarities, huh? Oh, kung. Ow. Ow. Like kung fu. Ow, kung. Interesting. Does not start. Even when you restart the PC. What else can we try? Maybe you can have a look at the game log if something is written there. Maybe a driver failure update or something. Isn't there a safe mode in ETS2 or ATS? If you go to Steam library, right click on the game and play, there's different modes you can try. Is there like a safe mode? Can't remember. You speak 5 languages. English, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, French. Nice. Yeah, the sunset is so cool. Very scenic even without clouds. I'm actually wondering, is this something you get in vanilla? It looks a bit different. I would guess it's a Project Next Gen thing. Spanish, Portuguese, and French are relatively similar. Like Spanish, I think I have a chance of understanding. Maybe Portuguese as well, but French is totally beyond me. So for me personally, I wouldn't put them in the same category. But yes, I can imagine how they technically are. The game file system did not initialize. Ooh. Maybe you can post that in the forums. Get some support from SCS officially and post the game log. And other community members might have better answers. Definitely different. I've heard a bit of Arabic recently, mainly due to the automatic system having a problem there. The shifting. There you go. Yeah, I've been hearing Arabic recently because we watched the Messiah series, where they speak a bit of Arabic, some of the characters too. Very different sounds they make. Vanilla looks like that. Okay, so it is vanilla. The engine brake for this truck is pretty powerful. Really feel that drag coming in. Slowing down the truck. Italy has tons of languages. You're dying out just like France. I see. Grab a Clumsy mug. Oh, I'm missing my Clumsy mug. It's only available in NLL. But at least I have it still here. That's true. Get your itchy mug now. Hint to drink some tequila. That's a very good hint. Very productive. I think I still have some. For the next batch, I'll have to do a refill. So how do you pronounce those Mandarin names? Mandarin-based Singapore places and words like I don't know. Do you have some examples for me, Hud? It's always one thing I've been clueless about, and because I don't get exposed to the locals as much, well, barely, I don't get to learn any of these at all. How clear the speedometer is. Yeah, it's not a looker, the dashboard. Actually, this is very low quality, huh? I should have enabled the realistic dashboard from Oscar from NFSHB. That one is very pixelated, my goodness. Looks like a pixel art game when you zoom in. But yeah, it's old school, but it's very legible. O'clock somewhere. Can't have coffee in game without Clumsy mug. I like this, but first, coffee. I think that's the only accessory I'm using from the HS Shock DLC, or however you pronounce it. Oh, and then we get to a countryside, but we don't have any visibility, so we'll sleep. We'll spend the night here. Perfect timing. Just buy a store's Volvo. Hey, drive safely. Long time no see indeed. How are you? How have you been? Still busy improving the sounds, I take it. I see a lot of updates for the sound fixes every now and then. Super cool stuff. Thank you for the bits, Ninja Squirrel, and welcome back. Let's go and rest for the night. Maybe we can see the comet from here. Have you guys seen the comet? It's been going through over the news, but I'm not sure if everybody has visibility on it. Been seeing some photos in the net. Like it only appears every, what, 6,000 years or so, that comet? Ishun. Those ones I think I can get more. But how do you pronounce the CHW, the chew, the chow, or CHEW? Char Kway Chow. The food. Maybe the food is what I need help on. And why is it that when you say like Teping, some of the spellings, the ping is P, some is B. Does the Mandarin translation sound like a mishmash between B and P? At least that's what I've seen somewhere, I think. Maybe they just made a typo. No, probably not. Nisun and Pixan. Wow, that's so far away. Ah, this is so nice. They're nice views. Nobody pronunciation the Mandarin way. Not even Mandarin speaking Singaporeans. Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. That's because that's the only one I can pronounce, the Yishun. You are towards Scania. Speaking of Scania, it's been so long since I've driven a Scania. I blame Kriechbaum again. He hasn't done Scania in a while. What Scania are you guys driving, or have you guys driven recently? Any nice mods out there? Fred Scania I still haven't driven. You're good. Updated the sounds for when you go over the grass. Oh, cool. Alright, we'll try and spot that if I ever go off-road. Accidentally, most probably. Cool. And attention to detail, huh? By the way, drive safely, did you have to change the train sounds? Because I remember in the beginning of Fmod, the train sounds were so bad, or so soft. Like, I think you had to modify it. But then SCS, I think, modified those somewhere in the middle of 137 or 138. So I guess what I'm asking is, which part of the train sounds level crossing is SCS default? are you modifying anything there still with your mod? Because now the sounds are pretty loud. I like it. You really hear when a train is going past you. You really hear that level crossing. And I'm wondering if SCS has done that, or if that's all from your mod. Char Kway Chow. Cha Kway Chow. P&B sounds in Mandarin are a bit of a misnomer. Mandarin has a romanization system called pinyin, and P actually represented an aspirated P sound, while B represented an unaspirated P sound. Ah, so like a PH and a P, and then like a main P. I see. So when you say taping, is that with an H or without? Is that the aspirated or unaspirated? Cool. Never knew that. So the B is not actually pronounced as a B. Makes sense. Scania 4 series by RJL, yes. My favorite. I'm just not sure which sound mod there is currently that's good for it. I think some people have been making 138 compatible sounds over in the forums, but I have not explored any of them yet, I think. Few voiced consonants. PI in Mandarin would be more like a P in Tagalog. Ah, I see. Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering why the spelling is different sometimes. That would make it very close indeed if it was a matter of an H with or without the H thing. Viper's Peterbilt. Oh, is it still working in 138? I thought I heard that he stopped modding now. If you had the PayPal, yeah. I'm not sure if that will ever be a thing. I think it's not allowed in his country. Yeah, typing. Oh, it's Hokkien. I see. I see. A small H. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I think one thing, the concept that I really will never get is the intonation part, which is a crucial part of the Chinese language, any of them. That one I really have to study. So good. Close. Too close for comfort. Those train sounds are still in your mod to make sure all the train car sounds still work. Okay, good. Better safe than sorry, I imagine. Thanks. Peterbilt is now updated for 138. Nice. Yeah, that's a great mod. The customizations are amazing, especially I think my favorite is the old cabin type, the old version of the interior. That's my most favorite version. You know our weird way of ordering. Yes, I tried. I always go for Kopio Kosong back during the days when we could still go out. Black coffee without sugar. Musical lanes. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've driven through musical lanes. Are we referring to the same thing, like the rumble strips having sounds? Was that in New Mexico, if I remember correctly, where they implemented that? You guys know if that's present in any other state? Man, the mountain looks so good. In not sure if it's just because of anti-aliasing, because of Project Next Gen, because of both, and because of the base, how Italy just looks like DLC. Is he still the one working on it? It's a good question. I'll read it in a bit. Highway now without the hard shoulder, and now we're on a motorway again. Yes, it's a very good distinction. It's still a motorway. California is a musical road too. Is there a functional aspect to those musical roads? Because I would imagine if you put them on the side, like on the shoulder, right next to the shoulder, and that it sounds so good, then people would tend to drive there more often, which is not something you want normally, right? You don't want them. Normally you want to make those sounds to make the driver aware so they would veer off. But in this case, the musical road is something you would want to keep them on there. So I think the purpose is the opposite. So I'm not sure if it works or has a functional benefit at least, or is it just cool? Hey Grumpy, you can go faster, but that would make it so much more like GTA, and I'm not a fan of that. Yes, exactly. Kopi o koso, black coffee without sugar. And then I have never tried making coffee of my own using that famous sock, for lack of a better term, that Singaporeans use for their coffee making. Because it tastes very different. Even if it's the same black coffee, it tastes very different. Both are good, but very, very different taste. I usually use a drip. I usually do drip coffee. We need to go faster. That's the one. What does Mrs. Clumsy order? Recently she has been, because I'm the one who makes the coffee, so she drinks whatever I make. But no, usually she likes latte more. But during the morning, we both go IF, intermittent fasting, so we take black coffee. Have a good day, Hasib. Thanks for joining. Catch you next time. Glad you made it to the stream. I think the musical roads play at the right tempo to keep to the speed limit. So the musical roads would then need to trigger not on the shoulder but right where you're on the lane itself. Let's go to this other lane so we get that guy, give that guy a bit of space. That would make more sense. So you stay on your lane. GTA Truck Simulator. Yeah, I get a couple of comments like that oftentimes. Why do you drive so slow? And I guess it makes sense because many people are exposed to more action-packed, fast-paced games. They're less realistic, but they're more exciting. So people, especially the younger generation, more oftentimes drive with that kind of, or play those kinds of games more. So when they switch and they see for the first time something like this, which is closer to real life, for them it's too slow. Because they've gone accustomed to GTA style driving. So totally understandable. Never had that too at home. Your grandfather has one. Both it in the, yeah, I would call it Western coffee. I like them both as well. And I like that the local coffee is super cheap. Like it's what, less than $2, $1.40, $1.60. Not sure if it changed recently, if you get one of those kopitiams. But like if you compare that with a properly brewed coffee, Western coffee, it's going to cost around $5 or $6. But I guess that's not comparing apples to apples, because you're comparing like what is the international term for it, a food court versus a posh cafe. So the prices would really be different. But maybe if you had a posh cafe which serves local coffee, then it would also be a bit cheaper still. I think we have some of those. I think I've been to one before. In the Philippines, I think it depends. If you're more Filipino, then probably coffee. But if you're the Filipino-Chinese type, then most likely tea. Like my cousins, I'm like 1/4 Chinese, but I don't know a word of it. Well, maybe I know a word. But most of my cousins from the mother's side, they're more authentic Chinese. So they have more of the Chinese customs, and they really like their tea. But if I speak with a like Filipino, most of the time it will be coffee, if ever, or maybe Coke. It'll be 20 next month. You haven't played GTA. I played GTA before, GTA 3 and 4, but never 5. I have never. I think I didn't have a rig when 5 came out, and now that I can play it, I don't have any interest anymore. I am Filipino. Yes, exactly. Sorry, missed that. Drive safely. Yes, Project Next Gen 0.7, the paid version. Really liking it. Very subtle. It's close to SCS vanilla, but with a twist. Drives in GTA stopping at stop signs and red lights. Yeah. If you do that in GTA, it just looks weird, doesn't it? Like in GTA, when you stop, you lose. You snooze, you lose. $140 copy of. Oh, that's even expensive. Oh, there you go. Yes. Lot of Spanish names, definitely. Puerto Princesa, Sierra Madre. That's why I'm familiar with the Sierra, because we also use that. Sierra Madre for mountain ranges. Punta Baluarte, yeah. So lots of Spanish influence. We even use some of them now. La Mesa. Although for us, we just call it Mesa, table. So how's everyone doing during quarantine? Are you guys still in quarantine? Do you guys go out often? For us, we mostly still stay at home. Only gone out for the haircut. Almost. Welcome to Iazio. Region with Rome. I see. So the hawker centers are more of that closer to $1 range. $140 for the ones in the malls. Yeah, makes sense. We have a hawker center near us, and whenever my brother-in-law, that's Mrs. Clumsy's brother, comes to Singapore, stays with us, we always go there. He loves the Singaporean breakfast, the kaya toast. And the one where you have like the soft-boiled eggs on the tub of, we call it tabo in Tagalog, but it's a tub. We don't normally use it for eating or for food, anywhere near food. In the Philippines, that tub, I'm not sure how we call it in English, usually it's used in the toilet, if you get what I mean. Probably not. But it's for toilet purposes. So seeing that right next to food, and food actually inside it, is very weird for Filipinos. But yeah, we get the point. Yeah, the tub to carry water, exactly. So yeah, in some hawker centers, for all really old school ones, they have the soft-boiled egg dipped in hot water in that kind of tub. And it just looks so weird if you're not from here, if you're not familiar. Birthday's in 4 weeks. Advance happy birthday. What are you getting yourself, or what are your parents getting for you? Hey Amelia. Hope I read that right. Tried my very best. Tea more often than coffee. Oh yeah, because of, I guess, English influence. Is that tea with milk or just plain? You guys are getting haircuts? Yeah, in Singapore the lockdown is not that extreme anymore. Bit by bit they're opening the stores, but they're still very cautious. 40. When did it go suddenly to 40? Doing good, Amelia. Thanks for joining. I knew it. Yeah, he enjoys the food. That's like the number one thing he requests when he gets here. When are we going to the tabo? He calls it the tabo. That's the Tagalog term for the thing. Let's go get the tabo. And he gets so disappointed when he doesn't get the tabo, because nowadays that place we go to often doesn't use the tabo anymore. It uses the normal like plates or the saucers. So it's not as the experience is not as authentic anymore. It's a bit more modern. At least the last time they were here. A new laptop, an RTX 2070. My goodness, wow. Congrats, man. Enjoy it. Are you planning on trying out Flight Sim 2020? That might be perfect for that. Usually you order 4 eggs instead of 2. Why not? For us, we usually get another set of the Kaya Toast. What is your favorite local chain for Kaya Toast? Like, if not hawker center, like the commercial ones, like the Toast Box, the what is this? I'm forgetting my places now. We had a favorite before. Toast Box, no, we don't like because they serve very small. They have very small servings. We don't like it. We have this one in particular we like. There's Yakun, right? Yakun is okay. We would ideally want to get it in hawkers. I guess that's the most authentic one. But if we had no choice and we had easy access to a commercial one, what was... When you say it, I'll probably get some ideas. Alright, drive safely. Have a good one. Sorry. I hope I made it in time. Still catching up with chat. Too busy chatting and monologuing on my own. In New Zealand, do you still have cases? I remember a few weeks, or has it been a month or two ago, you guys actually had no cases left. And you just got one, I think, because they came from abroad. So it's like an imported case. But yeah, your government has been doing a great job managing that. Hong Kong is very interesting because they have both the traditional Chinese tea and milk tea, thanks to the British. Oh yeah, that's true. A good mix, huh? Yeah, I'm more used to the traditional Chinese tea. Except if it's milk tea, like bubble tea. Then that's a different discussion altogether. Switching to plates and cups. Metal container with the hot water is a little more traditional. I even went to a hawker center once where they had it in a plastic container. That's the one we use in the toilets, the plastic one. So it looked exactly like that. The laptop also has a 144Hz screen. Wow! That's amazing for gaming. What brand is it? You like Yakun, cheaper than Toastbox and has bigger portions. Yeah, I don't like Toastbox. The serving size is so small, I would never be full. Dang it, I hate these construction zones where you have to slow down to 30 only for a few meters. It breaks the momentum. Hey Rohan, how are you, man? Still bored? We have a favorite commercial Kaya Toast place. There are some like that one in the airports. The name evades me. The name varies a bit, but it's mostly the same one. There was a time when we had breakfast there every day because it was close to Mrs. Clumsy's work. Yeah, that one. I know, very descriptive. Where are you going, 75? I don't doubt it. Not Kilini. Coffee something? Coffee at work? No, something else. No, that coffee. Toast at work, maybe. Does that ring a bell? GTA driving. Sitting at construction sites for speed traps, yeah. That's how a smart cop would do it. More tickets. Do police do that in real life in the Philippines? Definitely. I've been a victim of that before. There was this particular intersection, and this is only one of them. I'm sure there are so many. The stoplight was covered by a tree, so you would not be able to see the stoplight. You would think it's an open intersection, and because you were on the main road, it seemed like you had right of way. So you would go straight, but because the tree was hiding the traffic light, oftentimes it would be a stoplight, right? And there would be a cop waiting just after the junction, ready to catch you. And yeah, they would say, there's a stoplight right there. No. And then they would point it, and then because you're on the other side of the junction now, you would then see the traffic light. So yeah, that's like, I'm sure they would have gotten, because there was a time here in the Philippines where I think they got more salary, like a commission maybe, or better rating, something along those lines. The more tickets they issue, the more people they catch. So there was a very good incentive to be creative in thinking of trapping ways. So yeah, there are some junctions where you cannot turn right on a red signal, even if there's no sign that says no right turn on red. You know, something along those lines. That's where most of the traffic enforcers would stay. At least before that was the case. Nowadays, I hope not anymore, but I wouldn't discount it. Normally, fines and penalties are doubled in construction sites. Ah, that's a very smart way to do it. Speeding again. Actually, no, it's 80 now. Interesting. fun toast? Oh my goodness, still not. Let's see if Google is going to help me out. I think my Hey Google is not working. Hey Google. Hasn't worked in a bit. Oh, does it? It does. Local Singapore Kaya Toast place. Did it work? Or did it? Hey Google. Oh. Hey OCS. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. Would you be able to complete a 3K job in this stream? No, not really. Not really. It's an ROG. That's Asus, right? Republic of Gamers. Cool. Congrats, man. Like to joke that Malaysia has their own toll system operated by police stopping you for speed. Are they also prone to that? I see. Current laptop is at 850M GPU. I think I had that before. I sold it already though. Yeah, not very good for games, is it? 850. Struggles very hard with simple games. And 40 again. MX. Look. But now you have a fancy desktop with an RTX 2070. Is that a super? I forget. I think you had the upgrade before the supers came in. Malaysian police love Singaporeans' license plates. Cha-ching! Oh, you had the super series. Nice. No wonder you're Mr. 75. They do it to ensure people keep their speed down to protect the road workers. Yeah, makes sense. The cost really is a good motivator. I think here in SG, if I remember correctly, the penalties, of course the penalties vary depending on the offense. But I think the beating the red light is one of the biggest offenses, which is very reasonable given how critical it can be depending on the junction. So they really put a big weight on that. no worries. Let me try and remember. Actually, it's let me help out Google here a bit. What are the local Singaporean Kaya Toast chains? Okay, let's see. No. Oh, it's messing with me. This is why you don't text and drive, guys. What are the Singaporean Kaya Toast chains? What? Local Kaya Toast establishments. Yakun, no, not Yakun. More places. Sure, I'm sure it will turn up here. Everything is Yakun, my goodness. I think I should phrase it differently. Local coffee shops nearby. Who's leaving? Have a good night, OCS. Thanks for dropping by. Sorry, it was a bit busy. You might get a 3000 series GPU if you have extra funds. And for a monitor, nice. I think a monitor will serve you better. You're not capping out on frame rate anyway, yet your GPU is powerful enough. That will give you some time to maybe normalize the prices and the stocks for the new GPU. So I would suggest you prioritize the monitor. Corruption is all over Southeast Asia. Yeah, except Singapore. It's very good. So it's very refreshing when we got here. The rules are pretty straightforward and pretty black and white. Very organized. Sorry guys, and I'm driving like a madman here. It's trying to multitask. Hey Pancho! Welcome to the stream, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Come on, come out already. Starbucks? No, not Starbucks. For those who just joined, I'm looking for a local coffee shop that we enjoyed going to before for the local breakfast, but the name evades me. It's nothing fancy, definitely, but it's a very affordable one, very practical. Even Google doesn't know about it, doesn't appear in the list. My goodness, that looks so good. You know, I have the perfect shot for this. Like so, like so, like so. There you go. I will ask Mrs. Clumsy later. But right now... Did I just imagine it? Maybe there is no such thing. No, Google doesn't know. Let me get some water. Doing good, doing good. How are you? Yeah, 144. Let's see if your 2070 Super can handle it. An ultra-wide monitor or normal monitor with track IR? If you're streaming, a normal monitor definitely. If you're recording. But if you're on your own, an ultra-wide might be a good idea because later on you can go ultra-wide and track IR. So you're not tying yourself down. But the ultra-wide itself would give you a nice field of view already. As long as your GPU can handle it, that is. Your mom went to Thailand, they had to put like a 20 baht note into their passports. Really? My goodness. What's a fuse? Oh, fuss free, I mean. I see. Didn't have that problem in Thailand before, but maybe that depends on your nationality, I can imagine. Yeah. Strictly speaking, how is corruption right now in the Philippines? I don't know. The press release is it's less. In reality, I'm not so sure. I think it evens out. Like some parts are less corrupt, but others take its place. So that's my impression, at least. Yeah, con toast. No, I'm sure there's an establishment. This local coffee shop is oftentimes paired together with some Thai food. There is one in Tampines Mall to be specific. Or there was, I'm not sure if it's still there. Video on YouTube of Samsung 49-inch ultra-wide display. $1,700. Yikes. I'm not such a fan of ultra-wides just because I have a habit of maximizing my windows, and when I do that, I guess in an ultra-wide it will take up the entire space. So if you go for an ultra-wide, you have to get used to that concept of keeping your windows normal size or restored, or however you call it. I have this bad habit of maximizing. That's why even if I have a large monitor already, I tend to still maximize all my windows, and some of the space is unused. But yeah, I guess it's just a matter of getting used to. See Singaporeans as free money. I can imagine. Yeah. If you go to Turkey and tell them you're from Malaysia, the price is something. They're Singapore, they double the price. It's a bit of a similar thing in the Philippines, but not for Singaporeans, I think. It's more for the Westerners. If they see you're white, then they charge you a lot more. Because the assumption is you have more funds to spare. So you're more open to quote-unquote negotiation. One-sided negotiation at that. Have a good night, B. Thanks for joining us. Catch you next time. Have a great weekend. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of X-Plane. Seeing the plane above from this angle. Yes. Now how do we take a nice shot of that? That can work. Maybe rotate it a bit. That can work. Instant SCS graphics. Are you willing to cross over to the dark side of Payware? JPX update is also coming out soonish. Although that might be, yeah, that depends on your taste. It has a very Instagrammy vibe normally. I'm not sure if it changes with the latest version though. But the filters are very majestic looking. They're just not very natural, but they're very good photos. Looks like not a fan. Nasi lemak. I always forget this. Nasi lemak, I think we had that when we were in KL, in Kuala Lumpur. When we were there, I remember telling you guys about this when Mrs. Clumsy has a colleague which is a Malaysian. So they gave us tips on where the locals eat, where the best places are. We went to a place with amazing nasi lemak, and people were literally lining up even early in the morning. If that was nasi lemak that I remember. I think so. I think the name is Coffee and Toast. I think that's the name of the place, if I remember correctly. It doesn't serve the best kaya toast, but it serves in huge portions. So, and the taste is more or less consistent, so we like it there. Coffee and Toast, I think. Maybe. You don't see anything. Oh my goodness. maybe it was all in a dream then. It's a very thorough dream. Maybe my goldfish memory is going to a different level now. Instead of just forgetting things, I actually remember things. It's actually going negative now, remembering things that didn't happen. Next level goldfishing. Cafe and toast, yes, and that one has a different spelling. Some have cafe and toast, some are coffee and toast, if I remember correctly. And I'm not sure if they're exactly the same thing, but the lettering is very similar, so I would guess they are. There you go. I'm guessing there's a 50 zone somewhere nearby. Well, not really, but there is a roundabout. So 70 here does look a bit weird, but fine. It is a thing, okay. They don't have outlets in the west. I see. Yeah, I think they have that in the airport. I remember, I'm not sure which terminal, but we usually go there if we have an early flight. Sharkfish memory. Because it will bite you. Oh my goodness. Not sure how to comment on that one. That's more like dad joke memory lane right there. The Last Airbender movie, as well as Game of Thrones season 8. Oh my goodness, yeah. That last season, the Game of Thrones, there's a perfect meme for Game of Thrones, huh? Like, I can't remember the details, but I think it's something along the lines of season 5 or season 4. It's like this super detailed true to life image, and then season 6 it becomes like a bit more cartoonish. Season 7 they lose the color. Season 8 it becomes a caricature. Season 9 or something like no, it gets to the point where it's just like a doodle at season 8. And it very much feels like it, and it makes perfect sense because they've overtaken the books, so they have to invent something. Inventing a plot out of something that quickly, that normally takes years of processing for the author. And yeah, you can definitely imagine how different in quality that could be. Jack's not here, so I had to make up for it. Made up for it. Made up for it. You definitely did. Bad writers. Yeah, I think they were in a huge amount of pressure to deliver on something. So there was definitely time pressure involved. But yeah, you can't just come up with something that good, something that detailed. That's why the author, GRRM, hasn't written the books yet. Because the pressure is building up, and yeah, I guess waiting for inspiration, or however their process works. I have this favorite series. I love reading fantasy series, like sci-fi, not really sci-fi, but more the fantasy type, magic and stuff like that. And I have this favorite series, I forgot the name of the series, but the first book is The Name of the Wind. The author is Patrick Rothfuss or something, and we are all, the fans of that series are all waiting for book 3. It has not arrived for, I don't know, more than 5 years now. I guess everybody has been waiting. Can't remember anymore. But I think the pressure has built up to such a high level. I'm not sure, maybe the author is not confident to write it anymore. Maybe he's just not feeling it. But yeah, these writers are very much like free spirits. Can't really force them. And when it doesn't strike, when inspiration isn't there, or when the idea isn't there, then it isn't there. You have to take its time, which can be frustrating at times, but if you force it, that's exactly how it would happen in Game of Thrones. Somehow Jay has a talent for making everything sound a bit... maybe I don't describe it. Hey Jay, thanks for coming out of the lurking zone. Thanks for setting the slow mode a while ago. I didn't want to call you out since you were still lurking. Oh, I love that idle sound. Do we sleep? Yeah, we can. Lord of the Rings, unfortunately not. Like all of the fantasy fans I know are fans of Lord of the Rings, but I tried reading through it and I was bored. I didn't get through the first few pages, so Lord of the Rings not exactly. But Harry Potter, yes, I think I read that twice. That's, I think, the only series I read twice, because I don't normally like repeating. I'm not a fan of nostalgia and stuff so much. But because of my goldfish memory, it was actually an advantage. The second time I read it, it felt like a brand new series because I forgot almost all the things that happened already. And right now I don't remember the details anymore. Just the high level. Who dies, what's the ending, stuff like that. Anything more detailed is beyond me. Yes. So the sounds from Kriechbaum, yeah, he uses SCS sound samples here for most of the sounds. The only thing he added were the fan sounds. Everything else he just remixed. Which is such a huge accomplishment, I think. Being able to prove that it's not the raw sounds that are wrong, it's just the mixing. And I say just, but the mixing is a very complex thing. You can imagine. I think almost everything else SCS is doing good already. Interior, all the things that you can hear easily, but the actual engine sounds, which are trickier because it depends on how hard you're stepping on the gas. It depends on like the gear. Depends when you let go and push it again. So lots of different combinations. And I think that part they haven't locked down yet. English, yes. I am definitely much more comfortable reading in English because most of the books, even in the Philippines, are in English. Like we don't translate to Tagalog the books anymore because I mean we understand English anyway. So we basically get used to reading English more often. So much so that when I try to read Tagalog, it's like I'm a slower reader when I read Tagalog. No, I like it. I like the questions from HUD. And good that you're asking them here now because otherwise it would take me ages to answer them all. It's nice to get a perspective from the locals, a local perspective that's into trucking with a twist. We don't get a lot of those here. Yeah, that's a good point. I like the conversations as well, so either way is fine. But since you're here already, might as well ask them. Weird and boring, oh yeah. I'm definitely in the same boat. whenever my friends would know that I'm trucking, that I have a YouTube channel, then oh cool. And when they hear what's it about, it's trucking. Trucking? Why? It's like the interest goes like that to that quickly. It's a very unique environment we live in. Trucking is a good choice. Some people just don't get it. Yeah, I think it's the regional thing as well. Maybe in the US or in Europe it would be less so, but Philippines, Singapore specifically, trucking is not really famous, is it? Have a good one, Geek Squad. Super excited for your laptop. All of your friends only play PUBG. Yeah, exactly. Mobile Legends, you know, those action-packed, fast-paced games. Call of Duty, Fortnite, and all the things you can think of. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point. What HUD is saying. Truck drivers are not... Truck driving is not seen as a... how do you say? It's not a prestigious job in the Philippines. I think in Asia, in majority. So when you try and do or go into a simulator, but you simulate a job that's not so prestigious in a way, it fumbles their mind. Because why, if you're going into a simulator, why simulate something that's like not high up there in their point of view? But yeah, exactly as Alex says, some people just don't get it. Unfortunately, that's most people from my circles. Way to zone out and let your mind wander. I definitely agree. It's just, I think, getting that foot in the door is the problem when they hear about truck simulator. Like, if you say maybe driving simulator, then it would be of more interest, but saying truck simulator is going to put them off. Like how it put me off before I got exposed. I mean, many of you guys know the history already probably, right? Like how I got into trucking. It's just because I won ATS as a giveaway. Otherwise, I would have never tried it. I've been a huge fan of Kiralis ever since, and he's had this huge playlist of ETS2, and I never watched a video of those before I got into trucking. Yeah, I had the same notion before. To the uninitiated. Then some people just play SnowRunner for a rage outlet, or for a rage builder maybe. Because for outlet you would have to quit SnowRunner to let it out. These toxic gaming communities that you've seen, that's true. I guess it also helps that the community is also very varied. There are a lot of how do you say, senior members in the community, and I really like that because it makes the entire place a lot more mature. You know, it's less about shiny blinging things and more about realistic, logical stuff. And of course, we still have our own points of view, but in general, the maturity of the discussions go way up because of the senior resources, the senior members. I think we have some of those right now here. Let's not name names. Watch ATS video from Kiralis and you got addicted. Yeah, same, exactly. Yes. But I wouldn't have given it a chance otherwise. So getting that foot in the door is the important thing. Once they try it, I think they can be believers. Same here. I'm also glad I got into it. Watch it. You got into trucking from mobile apps. Ah, yeah, that's a very different entry point, huh? Which is quite interesting as well. That makes a lot of sense. Mobile gaming is very, how do you say, reachable, especially for Singaporeans, I assume. Very good infrastructure, mobile data. You're on your phone almost all the time, so mobile games just make sense. But yeah, they won't scratch that simulator itch. Thank you for following, and if you're feeling like it, you can join the discussion so we can greet you, welcome you properly. Yeah, that's a very good point. I remember the interview from Austin Meyer, the maker of Explain. That's why they are focusing also on Explain Mobile, because that gets people in the door. Many people don't have a PC, but almost everyone has a mobile phone. And if they can introduce the flight simulation world via mobile phone, that is one step in the door, so to speak. And from there, if they're craving for more, they can hop into the desktop version, get paid add-ons and stuff like that. So it's a good entry point. Makes sense. Brother showed you ETS2 in 2014. Once you saw multiplayer, you were hooked. Nice. Yeah, it's nice to see where we come from. Origin stories. You Singaporeans are also much more comfortable in English. Whenever you have to read something in Chinese, you need the dictionary in 3 times the amount of time. Ah, I see. Yeah, makes sense. So much exposure in English, huh? Jazzycat's traffic mod changes the vehicles based on location. Yeah, I was a fan before of Jazzycat's mods. Due to the issues behind those though, I've stopped using it. And also for performance reasons. It would have been a great mod otherwise. I know a lot of people still use it. For me, it's just a matter of principle, but I definitely understand why a lot of people like it. Way too many mobile trucking sim games. Yeah, especially if you're used to PC. Once you're part of the master race, looking at others is just shameful. Speaking of master race, did you guys see that PC building video from what's his name? Witcher. Henry Cavill? So cool. Makes PC building look cool. No worries. Yeah. I don't take it against people if you use Jazzycat. I just don't, but definitely adds a lot of spice to the traffic. So whenever Westerners come to Singapore and learn Mandarin to speak it with us, don't bother. Do they really for Singapore? I guess that's a fair assumption. If they just look at like official language and stuff like that and don't like research more into how it really is. Like if you base it on a pamphlet. Are those planes? Those are planes. And that looks like a nice image to go for. Actually might be a nice thumbnail shot right there. I like it. Simple but effective. Henry 1 PC gamers, yeah. I watched the Jace 2 Cents video of his, how would you say, reaction, follow-up video about it. Quite nice. long do we have to go? You guys see on the overlay. Do you think we have a chance of finishing in 13 minutes? Good luck. 2500. 100 kilometers per minute. English, Mandarin, Malay, Tamil. Zoom. No, I'm using Traffic Maniac's traffic packs. So it's a bit like Jazzycat, but a bit toned down, I guess. So I get some custom cars, custom trucks, tuned trucks, but not as expansive as Jazzycat's. There are rumors flying around that Traffic Maniac is Jazzycat, but until those are proven, I'll happily use Traffic Maniacs. Arguably native speakers, yes. Guess it depends how technical you get about it, huh? Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Were these textures changed in the Project Next Gen? It sure seems like it. Let's see if we can find a nice shot here. Something like that maybe would work. The sign is kind of ruining the moment though. So I guess it depends where you come from, which perspective you look at it from. This seems like a very sharp bend for an 80-kilometer road. Jazzycat is so laggy, yeah, because many of the traffic models don't have LODs and stuff, so it loads the full model, like a full-blown 3D model of the thing every single time, even if it's from so far away. So it's not very performance friendly, and it can make you prone to stutters. So I try to minimize those kinds of add-ons as well. Have you guys tried the MP5 AI? I was chuckling a bit when I saw that update. I was happy that there was an update, but I would probably never use it myself. Because you know how the MP5 from the Actros 5 team, it's a very nice looking truck, but yeah, requires a supercomputer to run properly because of the, how many did we count? 30 million triangles when you drive it. Yeah, and then they added AI trucks. They added it to the AI truck, and I doubt they had any change on the model. So you have like 33 million triangles in AI. So multiply that by how many? It's like no, thank you, no, thank you. One is more than enough. Yeah, I wouldn't enable that for myself, but would be curious to see how it would behave performance-wise from other PCs. Plus traffic mod. I guess you guys are looking at it from very different perspectives. Maybe that particular company looking for that job is a bit too technical or narrow-minded in terms of its definition. I like the textures on this wall. Very nice too. The repeating patterns. Don't look too repetitive. Multiply AI with 20 trucks. Oh my goodness, yeah, please no. If we have a brave soul here, go and try out the AI option for that MP5. Let me know how the performance is. Like one time you're getting 60 FPS and then suddenly out of nowhere it drops down to 20 because a truck spawned from like a kilometer away or something. You don't see it as a Western, so for you it's really part of, yeah, I get what you mean. Even though it came from Western roots because of how far it's gone. Some people have adapted the language already so much that it's part of their own culture. Makes sense. Don't let the Irish see that sentence though. Yeah, definitely agree, Hud. Yeah, I hope we don't have any Irish locals here. A little tap. Alright, Kriechbaum. Hope you find the solution for it and let us know when you do. Good luck, man. A good night. Thanks for hanging out. Unfortunately not, Amelia. No idea either. SCS is very sneaky when it comes to that. They don't give release dates until like a week before the actual release. They do give teasers though, and the more teasers they show, the closer it is. And so far, Iberia teasers have not been aplenty, so I would guess it will still be months off. That's my rough estimate. What are these trucks doing? Are they racing? We have actually crossed over now to Austria. Yes, Österreich. Unfortunately, that means old roads. At least we still get good textures. Yeah, look at how windy this is. Like, whoa, this is even a highway. Yeah. I wish it was the case. People don't have that colonial mentality, but it's a very hard thing to remove. I myself have it ingrained in me. I have to consciously fish it out and throw it. You know, fish it and throw it out. Otherwise, my basic thought would be along those lines as well. It has become so ingrained in my culture where I came from. there auto pass? No. Very true. Made it out in Italy just to end it. But at least we get a nice sight of the mountain from here. Not bad, right? I mean, I think this view is old. Are we in the old area already? I guess so. But it's harder, much harder to tell because of the Project Next Gen textures. It evens out the textures to everything to be more up to date. So you don't feel as much like it's old, except when you get to those skimpy junctions and hard bending roads. Yep, still Austria. .138 update. Well, a 138 update is out already. I'm driving in 138. This is an old area, but it's always well done. There you go. It's just the bends that I don't like. Very dramatic bends, not friendly for 80 kilometers at all. Super old one. Austria and Italy in base ETS2 is the best done part. Which one is the worst? UK? Germany? Belgium maybe? I think many of them are same bad level. The oldest areas. Netherlands and UK. I don't even dare go back there until I have Pro mods back. Even Scotsman wouldn't be happy with the Netherlands, I think, at this rate, at this stage. You kind of like the bends. Yeah, I guess if it was like a mountain pass, I would be okay. But because they say it's a highway, I don't like it. Like, if they say it's 80 kilometer speed limit, then I would expect I can go 80 there. Or very close to it. But as it is, like, I would have to go like 50. And I have to turn left here, and I am in the wrong lane again. Yes, frame drops and lags in some places. Because I'm on 4x anti-aliasing. I would expect more of these types of bends to be in country roads than in major highways. I think we'll have to stop here, guys. I think I will continue this offline. Maybe I can do a silent trucking again, but it will still be a while. How many kilometers do we have? Quite a lot, I guess. More than 2,000, I imagine. Because of all the detours I put in. $2,200. Close enough. I did a good estimate on how much we would finish by the stream, huh? Just a smidge off. Perfect. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Such amazing discussions today. I could barely keep up with chat, which is exactly how I like it. So thanks for the company. Have a great weekend, everybody. Keep in touch on Discord. I'll sure be there, and I'll try to share what I do over the weekend, as always. And I'll be looking forward to what you guys have to share as well. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a great weekend, and catch you on the Discord. !Discord gets you there, in case you're not yet. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the last minute follow. Better late than never. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good one, guys.